Okay, everything's working. And I want to go to Job 1. In Job 1, they have a meeting. And Satan was there in heaven. And God said to Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, perfect and upright man, and one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Satan says, Satan says, this, there's no reason for him to, you bless him, you earned the praises of Job. You keep him all protected, fences up, and nothing can get in. Bad can get in, so you earn that. But why is he supposed to? But put over your finger, put your other hand and touch him now, and he will curse thee to thy face. And so God says, okay, go for it. Only don't touch him. So his children were eating and drinking, and earthquake came and killed them. And one guy got away to tell Job. His cattle were destroyed, and his sheep, and his camels, and one after another. And Job rose and rent his mantle and shaved his head, fell upon the ground and worshipped. Said, naked I came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. So, in all these things, Job did not charge God foolishly. No, happened again. And the same thing happened. And the same conversation between God and the devil. And see, then you put your hand on him, and he's still perfect. Satan answered and said, skin for skin, all that a man hath will he give for his life. Put forth thine hand and touch him, and he will curse you. And the Lord said, okay, go for it. And Satan caused him to have boils come all over his body, come out and scrape his face. So, and he was there, and his friends, so-called friends, came up. Well, first his wife said, curse God and die. Nothing's good happening for you. And his three friends heard it. They came and sat with him for 7 days. 7 days. And then Job would open his mouth and started complaining. Of course, what does he have to complain about? What should he complain about? He is God. That's what people tell me. What should he complain about? Why is he whining? He should be happy. He shouldn't put a smile on his face. Just pretend to be happy, Job. Just pretend to be happy. You probably did something wrong. You just need to ask for forgiveness. You're sitting here complaining. You shouldn't be complaining. That is wrong. It's wrong to complain. Job said, "Why don't I just die? Why won't you just take me and let me die? Why was I born? Why could I just not be alive? I wish I hadn't even been born." That's wrong, Job. You gotta do what's right. You gotta ask for forgiveness. Many people believe Job's friends, as over and over and over they say he was wrong. It was his fault. They didn't. And then when they ran out of words, this guy comes up. I don't know who he was. He wasn't one of Job's friends. But he says, talks for a long time. Well, he talks for a whole chapter about how he's going to talk. And he says things, including one thing he says in his speech is who is talks about is it darken the counsel without words of not by words without knowledge. Did Job know God? He knew God. And God finally says, enough. Who is he that darkens counsel without words of knowledge? He came and stood before this guy and said, "Wait, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about here? Get up and go put your clothes on. Like a man, stand up and look at me in the eye. And answer me. Where was thou and by the time he was done, by the time God was gone about saying all sorts of things about him, this guy isn't mentioned again. He probably left. I wouldn't blame him. I don't blame him for leaving. God told all sorts of truths about him that Job knew. Job could give those answers. He knew who did it. God did. And God challenged this guy. Life has, I think, and his from the three thorns of Job. Those and God at the end, he says, he said under the three friends, my wrath is kindled, and now I'm mad at you. Now I'm mad at you, he talks to the leader, and your two friends. For you have not spoken right, as my servant Job has said. Job said everything right, but they didn't like he did. Who is to blame here? The three friends. Did Job's three friends accuse him of anything rightly? Or, no. They said some truths, or they aren't truths about Job. They didn't talk bad about Job. You better ask Job to ask me to forgive you. Don't even talk to me, ask Job to. If you're really Job's friend, you would go up and ask him to ask forgiveness for me. Or they did, and they were healed. They were healed, and Job was healed. And he blessed Job. There are so many times like that people say, people will accuse people, they'll stand off. They won't, they're not there to help, they're here to criticize. They're there to criticize. if you do this different, that different, maybe God would hear you. Maybe you would be healed. It's what you said or what you did or how you said it. I know you were in pain, but you said it wrong, and God's going to punish you for it. God's going to punish you for doing this or saying this or saying that. He's going to punish you. Your punishment is what you deserve. People told me that. And Job, and that's what they told Job over and over again. You should ask them to even leave. What good are you even being here? You're just discouraging me more. They were trying to counsel him. They didn't even know what they were talking about. None of them did. None of the four of them knew what they were talking about. And they were trying to give advice on something they never didn't even pay attention to what was going on. They didn't even pay attention to what was going on. They were trying to give advice. Why are you trying to give advice when you don't even know what's happening? You don't see the pain. You don't see any of the truth. You don't feel what Job's feeling. You don't, none of that. How can you know the truth? Pay attention to Job, listen, sit beside him, and accept him. Even if he is off, he then brought suffering, and God will have mercy on him. Who are you, who darkens the counsel without words of knowledge? Were you there? Were you there when God formed the earth, heaven? Can you teach God something? Can you teach God's servant something? No, no. It wasn't Job that did something wrong. Job was perfect. He did nothing wrong. He did not deserve one thing that he ever did. And his friends, God shamed them, because they should be ashamed. And the three turned to God. The one that I don't know where he came from. He must have left. I don't know. I don't know where he went. But the three are going to be saved because they obeyed God and asked Job for forgiveness. God bless you.